everyone, my name is Srinav and today is my birthday. I pray for my God to keep everyone safe. I am staying at home. Are you staying at home? And keep social distance. Thank you.
Morning! Welcome everybody to today's assembly. It's Friday the 8th of May and we miss you, don't we, Phelan? We miss everybody. I hope you're all well and staying connected via your Tapestry app or your Google Classroom and you're managing to make the best of things. We've lots to pack in this morning, so without further ado, I shall hand over to Mr Hodkin, who's going to start our conversation relating to, video games.
I'm here today to talk to you about video games and whether they can help us. Lots of people think they can, and some people think they can't. On the one hand, people think that video games can help you with your reading skills, with your time management skills, because obviously you have to think about how long you're going to do it for, and also just with your noticing the world around you. I think they can also help you with questioning whether things are real or not. On the other hand though, video games can be addictive, so they can take away too much of your time. And they can also mean that you're a little bit removed from reality, so you might not socialise with your friends as much because you play video games too often. With all things like this, we need to be considerate of the facts. What do you think? Let's hear from Mr Kanagasaby and some of the other pupils at Park.
Sometimes video games have learning like nuance from bite size, but you shouldn't do them all the time and it shouldn't be your only learning.
I love playing my console with my friends. At the moment, it's a great way to communicate with people and stay in contact with everyone that you can't go and see. We've been playing a lot of FIFA at the moment, and I think that's because we all miss football so much. Still hopeful Liverpool win the league, but that's something that we talk about while we play FIFA.
Well, a good video game is like teaching you how to do stuff.
This video has my opinion to the answer. My answer to the question or response, and I did edit this video, and I'm Anita, just you didn't know. There was some laggy parts, like this current part, it was lagging.
Video games can be harmful if you play for too long or hurt your eyes. Stay safe, everyone!
There are a range of opinions on this matter, and we don't often have all the facts. People feel very strongly about it, but often it's a generational thing. So the younger generation think one thing, the older generation think another. However, it's very important that when we're thinking critically, we have the facts. And one of the best ways to do this is to ask the experts. And that's what we've got for you today. I'm now going to hand over to Emma Reay, who's an academic at the University of Cambridge.
Hi to all the students and teachers at Park Primary School. My name is Emma and I'm a video game researcher at the University of Cambridge, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about video games and mental well-being. So there are some people, parents, teachers and even some scientists, who think that playing video games is bad for children. They worry that playing video games might make children more aggressive and violent. They think that playing video games might limit children's creativity and their imaginations. They're concerned that video games shorten children's attention span, and that means they might not do so well in school, or that they might find reading books very boring in comparison to playing video games. And finally, they also worry that playing video games is a very isolated activity, and that it is replacing meeting up with friends and playing together in person. So you might know somebody who has these types of concerns, and you might have these concerns about video games yourself. But what is the scientific evidence that video games are bad for you? Well, the answer is there isn't very much. Even after more than 30 years of looking into the negative effects of video games on children, scientists haven't actually managed to find any clear, definitive link between gaming and any mental, social, or physical problems. In fact, the most compelling studies on gaming and children have shown that video games can actually have a positive effect on our brains. So playing certain types of video games can actually improve your strategic thinking, and how quickly you process information.
Thanks, Emma. That was brilliant. If you're interested, the full discussion with Emma is available now on our YouTube channel. So please go there and have a look at it. This week, try to think about how gaming can help us.
Thanks to Mr Hodkin, and thank you to Emma Reay for making the time to join us this morning to speak about gamification. Speaking of gamification and learning, let's see how you've been getting on with Numbots and Times Tables Rockstars. Over to you, Mitzi Pecknold.
Hey, Rockstars! It's me again, Mitzi. I have got this week's top 5 for TT Rockstars and a top 5 Numbots players. So let's start with, who's my favourites? Key Stage 1. Let's start with Numbots this week. So, top 5 players for effort. In 5th place, from Einstein class, well done Adam, it's you. 4th place this week, Attenborough class, it's Ellis, well done. 3rd place from Einstein, first girl on our list, well done Effie. 2nd place, it is another lady, Alice in Einstein, well done Alice. And in 1st place for Numbots this week. 1st place for Numbots this week comes from Marie Curie class, and it is Kevin, my favourite rock star. Well done, Kevin. Okay, let's think about TT Rockstars Key Stage 2, top 5 for the last week. So in 5th place this week, in Berners-Lee class, representing Year 4, it's you, Amila, well done. 4th place, not from Year 4, from Year 3, Edison class, Yuki, that's your 2nd time getting a shout out in our TT Rockstar updates, well done you. 3rd place this week, not from Year 4, not from Year 5, or Year 6 is Year 3 again, Galileo this time, and Daksh, and that's your 2nd time for a call out as well, well done you. 2nd place, Edison again, well done Robert. And 1st place in TT Rockstars for this last couple of weeks has been Declan in Edison class. No, Declan, you're in Galileo class, not Edison class. So, rock on everybody, I want you to keep on rocking, and I want to see if we can get some Year 5 and 6 pupils onto that list for next week. Rock on! And one more thing, can I say a big shout out to Farzan in Pasteur class, who has been rocking out on his Rockstars this week. Mitzi, out.
Thanks, Miss Phelan. Oops, Mitzi. As well as considering gaming this week, today is a very special day in our country's history. It is VE Day, Victory in Europe Day. Before I share some information with you this morning, let's hear from Eddie, Reggie and Maroof in Year 6.
After his 8th of May 1945 radio broadcast, the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, spoke twice to the crowds in Whitehall. This is what he said. God bless you all. This is your victory. It is the victory of the cause of freedom in every land.
After 6 years of war and millions of lives lost, Europe is at peace. Families across Britain prepare to welcome home the brave soldiers after war. Captain Tom Moore is preparing his return from India. He will be working as an instructor at the Armed Fighting Vehicle School in Dorset.
VE Day is a holiday when the Allied forces defeated the Nazis. Now, what does the term VE stand for, you might say? It stands for Victory in Europe. Since Adolf Hitler committed suicide on the 30th of April, the Germans were forced to surrender, of which the act was authorized by Reich President Karl Donitz, and the act was first signed at 2:41 on the 7th of May.
Thank you, Year 6. So, as stated, today is VE Day, and as I said before, Victory in Europe Day. It's the 8th of May, and it's really special this year because it marks 75 years to the day of the announcement of the end of World War II. Perhaps you could have a little discussion at home as to what any members of your family in your household at all know about VE Day. Why do you think that as a country, a nation, it's considered really important that we recognise and remember VE Day? This slide here says, what do the adults in your family know about VE Day? What do you know about it, if anything? And if you don't know anything, perhaps it's time to find out. This slide says, why do you think it's important that together we remember it? And it moves on to show the crowds gathering to celebrate VE Day on its announcement. Now, Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister at the time, and he made the announcement to say that the war was over. Today, 75 years ago, this announcement was made. And our country had been at war for a very, very long time at that point, over 5 years. And so he said, let us turn our thoughts to this day of triumph and sorrow. And whilst you're thinking about VE Day, I'd just like you to have a little think about why you think that it was both triumphant. Why would people have been feeling triumphant and celebrating and happy and out in the streets, but also at the same time feeling full of sorrow? It's really important to say that those mixed emotions would have been everywhere, not least because so many people lost their lives. Additionally, though, the country was in a mess. There were many things that needed to be repaired and built back up again. And at that same time, even though the war had ended, there were still many, many people who were abroad or evacuated to the country, and they needed to return. So it wasn't like on that day everything was going to be fine again. So it still would have been a day where people would have felt very, very strange, I am sure. Now, I'm just going to show you this final slide, which says millions of people lost their lives. 18 million service personnel killed. And down here it says service personnel, people serving in the armed forces. 45 million civilians killed. And here it says a civilian is a person who is serving on the home front. So people that were at home. And 67,000 people were killed in air raids in the UK. And when we're thinking about that, I'd just like us to remember and consider the sacrifices that were made. So just in terms of a reflection about this day, on the 75th anniversary of VE Day, let us give thanks to the Second World War generation for protecting the freedoms, democracy and ways of life we enjoy today. Remember the bravery, service and sacrifice of the British and Commonwealth armed forces who fought in the war, those who lost their lives, those who were still trying to get home, and those who didn't have a home to return to. Remember those who contributed to the war effort, including emergency services, families and civilians. Maybe consider, do you know anybody in your communities or families who remembers World War II? And perhaps you could ask them to share your story with you. I'm now going to hand over to our learning platform as we have lots of learning to share with you this week, and I believe there are many exciting videos.
Here is the headline of what is happening at my home. 1. Every Thursday, me and my mum and dad, we clap and thanks to NHS.
Hello, Miss Kazi. Today I made apple crumble with my family. Here are the ingredients: cinnamon, butter, oats, flour, sugar, apples, and a little bit of water. Then I put it all inside here, fair and high. After I put it inside the oven, and done. I made the apple crumble for my family. Bye!
People have always wondered why they find piles of shoes wherever they find dinosaur bones. The truth is that all dinosaurs used to wear shoes. Terence popped on the zapatos blancos and looked down at his feet.
Oh, Gran, said the pizza is upside down. Hello.
The picture. Mommy, read it. Okay, let's guess the shape. This shape has 2 long lines and 2 short lines. What shape am I?
Rectangle.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for all of that lovely learning and for engaging with what we're doing at all times with creativity and care. Now I'm going to announce this week's stars. And remember that these stars of the week are in addition to those that are recorded in the newsletter weekly. The ones in the newsletter are nominated by parents, and the ones that I'm going to announce now are announced or given to me by your teachers when you engage with conversations with them on the telephone or send work to them directly. So the first star today is Rebecca in Marco Polo class for being determined to access Google Classroom every single day. Well done, Rebecca. Casper in Little Park for learning to ride his bike without stabilisers with one hand. Such fantastic physical skills. Also, your brother from Year 2, Oliver, for encouraging Casper and showing great pride when his little brother Casper had achieved this. Well done, you boys. Ryan from Little Park for engaging so much in the online learning and also creating your own shape game and listening and attention game at home. Your treasure chest, which you made, was magnificent, says your teacher. Also from Little Park is Stuart for showing his developing concentration and creative skills at home at the moment. Your painting in the garden, Triceratops mask and spider drawing are all creations that you should be very proud of. Keep the creativity coming, says your teacher. And finally from Little Park is Caitlin for being so kind, caring and helpful with her little sister Hannah at home. Moving to Year 6, and Phyllis wanted to just say hello there. In Year 6 we have Ishmael, Imtiaz, Shuvo and Zayana from Pankhurst class, and additionally Eddie in Mandela for all of your excellent engagement and thoughtful responses on the Google Classroom discussions about happiness. Also in Mandela is Arif for sharing his recipe for happiness and a great poem on the subject. Well done, Year 6. From Berners-Lee, Tiana, for being creative and imaginative while engaging with online learning. Your pictures have helped to brighten up all of our days. Thank you. Adea from Columbus class, for your excellent work with numbers. You've been watching your teacher's videos on one more and one less and applying your learning while building Lego towers. Apparently your daddy is really proud of you. From Brunel class, Abdullah, for completing close to 100% of the online activities. Your attitude shows your hard work and dedication, even when you think nobody is watching you. Your teachers, remember Abdullah, always notice. In ordering class, Aidan, for engaging really well with Google Classroom and regularly sharing your learning with your friends. Thanks for showing us how you made those yummy pastries. If only I could have had one, Aidan. In Edison class is Amara. Amara has been really engaged with all the learning on the Google Classroom, even when home life has been a little busy. She also made a beautiful card to thank all key workers that really touched her teacher. Well done, Amara. Sarah in Attenborough class, for working really hard to learn about odd and even numbers. And apparently, when you speak to your teacher, you always ask how she is. In Pankhurst class, Tom, for fantastic engagement with our first 2 live online lessons. Your teachers are really impressed, Tom. Well done. Kevin in Marie Curie class, for being really engaged with all of the learning on Google Classroom and always sharing your creative work in order to inspire others. Well done. From Marie Curie class, Alanis, for learning to play a musical instrument at home within 3 weeks. Alanis, I can't wait to hear it. It was lovely to listen to this over the phone, says your teacher. Well done you. In Galileo class, Declan, for taking a keen interest in your topic learning and finding out some great facts about Mount Everest. Your commitment and dedication towards your home learning has not gone unnoticed. Well done, Declan. Hope you're reading lots too. Wilka in Pasteur class, for being enthusiastic to learn new things at home with your family. Thank you for sharing videos with your teachers and showing us the delicious crumble that you made. You made everyone smile. In Malala class, Reader, for having such a cheery attitude. Myself and Miss Massey, presumably myself being Mr Sansom, and Miss Massey noticed that she always engages so well and so maturely with conversations. Apparently your teacher can almost tell that you're smiling down the phone at him. Rashika in Rosa Parks class, for having such a positive attitude over these past few weeks. I personally would endorse that, Rashika. You've been amazing. You've been friendly and inclusive with everyone in school, no matter what year group they are in, and you've engaged in every single activity presented to you. You are a joy. Well done, Rashika. Adam in Einstein, for engaging in all the home learning and creating some beautiful pieces of work which you have shared on Google Classroom. These have been lovely to see. Well done, Adam. And finally today, Nancy in Dagama class, for your enthusiasm towards your home learning. It's been great to see how you engage with the tasks set on Tapestry. Keep up the hard work. Well done to those of you that I have spoken to this morning. Congratulations on being this week's Star of the Week. And keep going, all the rest of you, and engaging with what you are doing. You're all absolutely amazing and well done. So that's it from this morning's assembly. Enjoy the long weekend. Try to make the most of the time with your families. Keep smiling Most importantly, stay safe. See you next week.